Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. I'm Brett the Jet in the booth with Turn 3 Racing Network, and tonight we have a good one here. It is qualifying at Lanier for race number 11 of the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour, as well as it is race number 3. It's the finale of the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge, as we have cars out on the speedway here in qualifying. Taking a look at the 86 machine of Stephen Hoffman. Hoffman's best time is a 13.27 as Jimmy Gowker goes quick time with a 13.14. Now we'll take a look at the man with a good shot at it here tonight. It is the 44 machine of Zach Nichols. Nichols on his first time lap right here, and as you can tell, Lanier's a small place, pretty much turning left all around the speedway, and Zach Nichols will go quick time here tonight with a 13.07, the only driver so far in the 13.0s. Looks like another car here rolling out to the speedway. Haven't seen the 7 car in a while. Glad to see him back out on track. It is Matt Vade. Vade lap number 1, good enough for a 13.47. He will look to improve here on lap number 2. Off of turn number 4 for the final time in qualifying, will not improve. Lap number 2 will be a 13.56 for the 7 machine. And it looks like that will mostly do it here for qualifying. 18 cars of the 20 have taken a lap, and looks like one other car rolling out to the speedway. And man, it's been a long time since I've seen this car out here. Glad to see him back here out on the sim racing world. It is the 25 of Nick Fleury. Fleury trying to knock the rust and dust off that steering wheel, and looks like won't get a time, so Fleury will start deep in the field here tonight. We'll roll off, I believe, 19th, but it's going to be Zach Nichols walking away with the quick time here tonight, as well as Chuck Darling, the man maybe sitting in the best spot. He qualified 12th. Of course, that means one thing and one thing only. Chuck Darling will lead the field to the green flag. As, of course, we got to give a shout out to that driver of the 44, Zach Nichols, rocking a pretty sweet paint scheme here tonight. I know he's been working pretty hard on that snowball scheme because that is now about a month out. January 9th and 10th, Turn 3 Racing Network will be bringing you the live racing action of the ASRC Snowball Derby. And I tell you what, it's going to be an exciting one, and I think yours truly has a ride lined on up. We saved up our dollars from broadcasting and found enough funding to get myself a ride down there in Pensacola. It's going to be a great time. But once again, got to give a shout out to Zach Nichols, adding yet another quick time award to the resume of the 44 machine. So warm up just about wrapping on up, under a minute to go in that. But here tonight, as we can see, a very small track, 0.3 of a mile, low bank speedway. So it's going to be all about wrapping that inside yellow line and trying to stay down there as much as possible, pretty much turning left all around this racetrack. So laps are going to go by in a hurry. 125 laps going to be the distance here tonight, and of course the 12 car invert to keep things interesting. We of course got to thank Boardwalk Subs, Postma Flooring, and LaPlante Racing Products for coming on board. Speaking about LaPlante, here is the top 10 standings coming into tonight. Jaden Kratacci leads the way with 18 points. Then in second, it is Zach Nichols with 12. So for Nichols to win the Triple Crown Challenge, he would have to beat Jaden by at least 6 positions here tonight. Anthony Danta comes in third, tied with Tanner Tallarico and Stephen Hoffman. All 3 of those drivers have 10 points. It's anyone's game to walk away with some money in that. Jimmy Gowker comes in tonight with 8 points. Ron Hart with 7. Same with Matt Moduleski with 7. Zach Hoyer coming in with 6. And Dave Payton rounding out the top 5 coming into tonight with 5 points. So let's head down trackside and go through tonight's starting lineup. So here we go tonight. Race number 11, the December 125 starting lineup will look like the following. Chuck Darling in the 88 machine will lead the field to the green flag, just outside the 38 car of Dave Payton. Man, that is a popular front row right there. Then we head to row number 2, starting on the inside. Rolling off P number 3 will be the 10 car of Travis Wright, just outside the 59 of Nate Henry. A great qualifying effort by him here tonight. Stephen Hoffman in the 86 will roll off 5th, and Chloe Mazzagatti in the 87 making her first ever ASRC start. She will roll off P number 6. Starting in 7th will be the 038 of Greggy Long. Then in 8th will be the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Jaden Kratacci in the 11 will start 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Ron Hart. Starting 11th is Jimmy Gauker, 12th going to Zach Nichols. Then in 13th here tonight, Matt Vade in the 7 machine, 14th going to the 13 of Zach Coyer. John Perriall in the 84 will start 15th. Scott Austin in the 05 will start 16th. 17th going to Landon Atkins in the 11. 18th is Hayden Swink in the 35. Nick Flory in the 25 will start 19th. And rounding out the field here tonight will be the 2 car of John DeMeester. So that'll do it here tonight for the starting lineup. As we get ready to rock and roll next time by, we will be going green flag racing. It looks like we have everyone but John Perriall out on the speedway. The 84 car not making the call, at least to the grid, so we will have to see how that will work on out, see if he is on pit lane. It looks like he is not, so lights will go out, and next time by, we will turn them on loose for 125 laps. It is Darling and Payton on the front row here. The iRacing Pace truck here heads down pit road, and Chuck Darling on the loud pedal early. We go green flag racing here at Lanier Speedway. Dave Payton a little bit of a bobble there in lane number 2, able to keep that 38 machine underneath him there, but that allows Chuck Darling to get out in front with a big advantage. Travis Wright trying to take over P number 2. He will do that here in turns 1 and 2. Travis Wright up to 2nd. Now here comes Stephen Hoffman to 3rd. Dave Payton definitely not in that preferred groove up in lane number 2. He's going to have to find a hole here sooner, else he could be on the wrong side of a freight train to start off this race. Down on that low side behind Hoffman is that black 38 of Greggy Long, then Jaden Kratacci, Jimmy Gauker, Tanner Tallarico, and then all the way back to Zach Coyer outside the top 10. So some great battles here. Further on back up in front though, new race leader Travis Wright takes over the point as we got Calamity into 1. It looks like Chloe involved in that one. Nate Henry here slow on the speedway, so we get our first Boardwalk Subs caution on lap number 5. So we will take a look, see what happened there. As here we go, we take a look to see what brought out that first caution. Take a look at the 59 machine of Nate Henry. Oh, and it looks like Henry just gets loose, somehow keeps that car out of the inside lane, except for just collecting Tanner Tallarico. Collects the 87 machine of Chloe Mazzagatti, and man, a big hit for her there. All 4 of those tires leaving the racing surface at one point. And then, of course, Tanner Tallarico getting a piece of that. So we can see the damage on the right front of the 1 car. Tallarico should be heading to pit road because that right front is definitely not pointing in the right direction. So hopefully he has someone looking at that race car from outside, because that thing definitely looks a little wounded here tonight. That is a tough break to have that much damage here in the early parts of this one. But out in front, Travis Wright gets the choose cone. This time by, he will choose the inside lane. So the rest of the field going to re-rack, restack, and we get ready to get back to green flag racing and put out our first Boardwalk Subs caution flag of the evening out and away here tonight. Going to be Travis Wright in that 10 car in control here. Chuck Darling to his outside right on the loud pedal here early, and he gets a great start. Chuck Darling with a little bit of wheel spin. Darling may lose second, maybe more, maybe not, as the caution flag here comes out on the speedway. And it seems like that one, a quick one with maybe Nate Henry trying to get that car up to speed. Yes, it is. And then it looks like just looping that race car coming off of pit road. Luckily, gets on the throttle, drives that car down and out of the way from the field. As, yeah, if he was stopped in the way, man, that could have been big time junk. So some good heads up driving there by Henry. Hey, appreciate you tuning on in, TJ. Sorry we don't have you out on track. We look forward to having you back here soon, but hopefully things are going down there good in Pensacola. I'm definitely jealous with, one, the weather down there, and then two, of course, being down there at Five Flag Speedway. That's always such a cool event. Has two quick cautions to start the race here tonight. Once again, Travis Wright gonna have choose here at the start finish line. It looks like Wright once again gonna choose that inside lane. I think all night here tonight, that leader is gonna choose that inside lane, because with this track, with the limited amount of banking and how tight it is, it seems like that inside lane just gonna be where it is at to make passes here tonight. As now new front row, Stephen Hoffman up on the outside of the front row, but Travis Wright on the loud pedal again, and once again gets a great start. Will lead the field down into turn number 1. Top 4 single filed out very quickly that time. Everyone finding their spot, minding their P's and Q's. First side-by-side battle is for the 5th position, as our current LaPlante Triple Crown points leader trying to work his way to the front. That is that 11 car of Jaden Kratachi. Kratachi able to clear Peyton, so that 11 car up into the top 5 already. Further on back a few laps ago, big moment out of the other 11 car. That is Landon Atkins. He was up top 3 wide here at Lanier. It can be done. You can see the corners are wide, though once you get up above that second lane, pretty much right off the door of the car on the inside, man, you are just losing a ton of time out there. So Atkins, of course, lost a few positions. Currently back in a battle for 12th with Nick Fleury here. So Fleury down low in that 25 machine has some damage from that first yellow of the evening. You can see some damage on both the left front fender as well as the right front quarter panel right behind that front wheel. Further up towards the front here, Jimmy Gallagher here trying to put the moves on Dave Payne. So Payne's race starting off here kind of on the rough side of things. Started on the outside of the front row, has since kind of slipped on back, but that 38 machine could be saving some tires because it's still here tonight over 100 laps. I mean, you don't want to save for too long and then set yourself up in an impossible spot to try and get on back around cars or whatnot. But now we can see here Zach Coyer trying to get around. He will do so. Same with Zach Nichols. Looks like Payne will finally find an opening in front of the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Further up towards the front here, Jaden Kratachi able to get around Chuck Darling. Same with Jimmy Gauker. So those two will slot into now 4th and 5th, as Darling will lose 2 spots. Out in front, though, it is Travis Wright leading the way now over Greggy Long, who is up to P number 2. So Long able to get around Stephen Hoffman for that second position. He will now try and run down our race leader here tonight. Now some more drivers on the move side by side, racing 4 cars deep here as Matt Vade able to get around Chuck Darling. Here comes now Zach Nichols in the 44. So Nichols had to start deep in the field here tonight, already making his way up through it here as he will try and complete the pass as quickly as possible on that 88 car. Looks like we'll get the job done here off of turn number 4. So Nichols up to 7th here as now Zach Corey says, if a hole is being made, I'm going to go down there and fill it and keep Darling up in that second lane for a little bit longer here tonight. And as we can tell, laps flying on by here at the Lanier Speedway. I mean, already 30 laps going to be in the books here this time by. So laps, of course, flying on by. Drivers still in the mid 13-second range, about 13.5 to 13.6 for most of the field out here tonight. Looks like the 11 car and the 2 have run down and gotten by Stephen Hoffman. So now Kurtachi up into a podium spot in 3rd, Jimmy Gauker 4th. Stephen Hoffman will slide back to 5th here, but a little bit of gap to that 7 car, Matt Vade. Vade, another driver making some very good pace up through the field here. He is up 7 spots from where he started here tonight, so that's that machine looking pretty sporty to kick things on off. Battle for 9th on the speedway. It is 2 teammates racing each other here. Ron Hart in a new look out here in the super late model here tonight. He will run a black and blue machine and looks like we'll be able to complete the pass on his teammate Chuck Darling there. Now Dave Payton gonna try and slide his nose in there. Can't quite have enough gap to get to the inside of the 88 here. Further up towards the front here, battle for that 6th position as Zach Nichols trying to tiptoe around the inside of Matt Vade for that 6th position. And just like we've seen all season long here for these long feature events, these drivers do have 1 set of tires waiting for them on pit lane. If we get a caution around the halfway point, we could see drivers deciding to take those, especially if they used up their tire a little bit early here tonight. Out in front, Travis Wright's lead starting to evaporate just a little bit. Let's ride on board with our race leader, looking back at the cars behind him. Greggy Long now within 1 car length of our race leader here. And you can hear at this racetrack just the limited throttle time here. With this track being so small and so tight, you're pretty much on throttle for just a few seconds, and it's all about rolling that center speed here, keeping that car on the bottom. And Travis Wright maybe losing a little bit of ground on corner entry, but he's doing a good job of keeping up that pace on corner exit. That is what you're going to need to do to hang on to a race lead here. That, hey, you can let the guy behind you, drive it in there deep, get to your back bumper, but as long as you got the drive off, that's where the pass would be made, and that's what Travis Wright is going to have to defend against us. Greggy Long is there, and here comes Jaden Kurtachi. He is now in the mix up towards the front. So a 3-car battle for the race lead starting to form on up here between Travis Wright, Greggy Long, and Jaden Kurtachi. All 3 of those guys within 2 car lengths of one another out here towards the front. Rest of the field starting to calm on down just a little bit here as everyone kind of running their own pace. Everyone kind of spread on out for the most part here. As Greggy Long was able to notch it about a quarter of a second behind the race leader, has yet to really break past that point here. So a 38 car able to run him down. I think Travis Wright was tire saving to begin this race, and then since then backing in, I should say turning it back up as we get a caution on the speedway. It looks like the 35 machine of Hayden Swank here stopped at the top of 3 and 4, so he will try and get that car righted on around. It sounds like Hayden Swank will take the claim for that one, so we will have to see what happened to the 35 machine here through 3 and 4. So we can see here Hayden Swank and Nick Fleury doing battle. I think this was for the 14th position here, and then Swank to the inside of Fleury and actually gets the 25 machine sideways, and then gets a big shot in the rear end from the 2 machine, and that's what ultimately brought out the caution there, as quite a few drivers down on pit road, I think, to get some damage repaired. Yeah, the 1 car Tallarico down, same with the 25 of Fleury, the 2 of John DeMeester. And it looks like Scott Austin gonna take some tires here tonight, so we'll elect to take the right sides. And here at this small track can only take 2 tires at a time, so we see the drivers down on pit road quickly trying to beat this pace car on off to prevent them from going a lap down here tonight. Travis Wright once again going to choose the inside lane here on the restart, so the rest of the field going to double on up, and we get ready to head back to green flag racing here. Our 3rd Boardwalk Subs caution coming out right around lap 50, so I'm surprised no more takers on pit road for tires, but may not be the case that they are too important as we head back to green flag racing. Greggy Long with a little bit of wheel spin up in lane number 2. That could allow the 11 car Jaden Kurtachi to get a nose to the inside. Yes, it does. Heads up racing for the 2nd spot here. Travis Wright will continue to lead the way, leaning on each other in contact for 2nd. Elbows out racing here for 2nd as Long tries to keep that 11 car pinned down as much as possible. And Kurtachi's going to be like, man, I got to have some racing. Luno Long way up the racetrack there. That will check up even Zach Nichols a little bit in that 44 machine. So with the rest of the field 2 by 2 here, it's allowing Travis Wright once again to run away and hide, at least for the time being. Jaden Kurtachi now gets clear for 2nd, so the 11 car can try and set sail and try and run down the 10 once again. Big time contact there between Stephen Hoffman and Zach Nichols. Those 2 leaning on each other the entire corner there through 1 and 2, but seems like Greggy Long once again stuck in lane number 2, and he is up there for at least a little bit longer here, as now Stephen Hoffman trying to make his way back through this field. We saw it even from that first start with Dave Payton, you know, losing about 5 spots just by starting on the outside of the front row. More contact there. Man, big time elbows out racing between Stephen Hoffman and Greggy Long. Hoffman said, I want this bottom side. We're going to move you on up. And whoo, Hoffman clears himself down the back straightaway as well. Wow, some tight racing here at Lanier. And that's what you kind of expect here. Cars continuing to sort themselves out, continuing to try and make their way single file here, but that time by for Travis Wright is cross flags here tonight. Halfway down, halfway home here for the season finale of the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge. Jaden Kurtachi, the current points leader in that, running in 2nd, has run down Travis Wright within 2 car lengths here, so Kurtachi just needs no big mistake, anything like that, and he should be looking to walk away with his first ever crown. 2 teammates side by side battle here for 7th as Zach Hoyer and Matt Vade go door number to door number here tonight. Both part of the T-Grid Racing stable out here. Excuse me, I think T-Gritty is what it says. Those guys still dead even side by side with each other. Right in front of them, Stephen Hoffman trying to hold back a hungry Zach Nichols. He currently is running right on that tail tank of the 86, putting pressure on him, but so far has yet to get on around him. So let's ride on board with Stephen Hoffman here, looking on back to that 44 machine here. We could see Hoffman there kind of miss the bottom. That could be the opening the 44 needs. No, Hoffman gets a good exit there, so able to keep the 44 car at bay. You can see just how close the racing is here tonight. Nichols now to the inside. Yes, he is. Zach Nichols now trying to work over Stephen Hoffman for that fourth position as, oh, Zach Coyer, Matt Vade both get into the wall there. I think Coyer might have put Vade in the wall as we take a look at this close side-by-side racing here as Greggy Long, big time slide there. Now Zach Coyer might have gotten some help there from Chuck Darling, so some cluster racing going on kind of deeper on our screen in our kind of top right area up there. As this side-by-side battle continues to rage on here. Stephen Hoffman doing a good job at hanging onto that outside lane. I think that outside lane can be viable as this run goes on, but here it's going to have to take a few more laps of some cars running this inside lane here as we have a battle for the race lead here. Jaden Kritachi to the inside of Travis Wright, and right in front of them some lap traffic sits. How will they sort themselves out? 3 wide down the back straightaway. Wow, great racing there for everyone. Heads up racing as well to be able to sort themselves out through that, and Travis Wright still leading the way, but he is trying to do so with that top lane. Like I said, I think that top lane, as long as you can carry your momentum and get that exit off, as long as you don't allow that car to the inside to get a nose ahead of you, I think you could defend up in lane number 2 from here on out. As we saw Travis Wright just do that here with about 45 laps left in this one. Zach Nichols able to get around Stephen Hoffman, same with Greggy Long. Now Tanner Tallarico back in the mix here tonight, was able to get right sides on that race car. You can see that right front still kind of towed on out. You can see that right front kind of pointing to the right side, so that thing is scrubbing big time, but at least with the new shoes underneath that one car, he is able to keep some decent pace here. So Tanner Tallarico will drive up to 6, his best running spot so far here tonight. Another driver that's been kind of quietly clicking off the laps here, that's being the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Hart currently running in the 8th position here. Some other notables out here still running. Scott Austin looks like done for the night there in the 5 machine. Nick Flory continued to put down laps here. He sits 2 laps down. Hayden Swink 1 lap down, and the current guy in the lucky dog spot is that 2 car of John DeMeester. Everyone else though on the lead lap. Landon Atkins, the next car in danger of going a lap down, just crosses the stripe, but the leader's just going into turn number 3. So I don't think there'll be enough time to put Atkins a lap down before the end of this one. Travis Wright looking for his first ever career win, but we get a caution flag here right with about 40 laps left in this one, as we got cars here stopped on the front straightaway. It looks like Chuck Darling might have been involved, and it looks like Dave Payton sitting the wrong way here. Payton will get that car rolling, as we will try and take a look here, see what happened to bring out our 4th Boardwalk Subs caution of the evening, as we see Chuck Darling and Dave Payton side by side here. And I think if the contact comes, it will be here off of turn number 2, as Peyton and Darling just make contact there, and that sends the 88 and the 38 both on around right in the middle of the front straightaway there. So as we see quite a few cars down on pit road here tonight, Greggy Long, Jimmy Gauker, Ron Hart, Stephen Hoffman, Zach Nichols, Matt Vade, Landon Atkins, and Chuck Darling all down on pit road here. Oh man, interesting call here from Zach Nichols and his crew. Gonna take 4 tires on that 44 machine, and it looks like Nichols gonna maybe just beat the pace car out. It is gonna be very close for that 44 machine. Looks like Nichols will, in fact, actually speed on pit road to maybe beat it on out. Everyone behind Nichols did not do so, that being Greggy Long, Stephen Hoffman. All of those guys might be trapped 1 lap down here. As yeah, that looks like it will be the case. So I want to say top 6 staying out on those older tires. Everyone else down on pit road. Drivers that have yet to come down pit road, that being Travis Wright, Jaden Kurtachi, as well as Zach Coyer. So 3 cars have yet to visit pit road. Probably at this point, they are not coming on down. So their bet is made as we get ready to rock and roll here. Travis Wright gonna fire on off, and we head back to green flag racing here with a spread out field from pit stops there. Travis Wright now leads the way over Jaden Kurtachi. Tanner Tallarico up in a podium spot. Here comes the hitman, Ron Hart, up to P number 3 now. So Ron Hart biding his time, riding on around in the right spot at the right time, because this 51 machine is looking sporty and starting to put some pressure on our top 2. Jimmy Gauker, the first driver on 2 fresh tires here tonight. He is currently working on some lap traffic here, so had to start pretty deep in this one. I think about 3 more cars in front of him before he can catch that top 4 out there. Matt Vade, another one of those drivers trying to make his way on through. Zach Coyer sits in 7th. Zach Nichols back in 8th here. Had to start deep in the field with that pit stop here. So he is going to have to hope for a caution. As out in front, new race leader Ron Hart has gotten around Jaden Kurtachi, Travis Wright on old tires, and Hart currently sets the pace out in front here tonight. So that 51 machine looking sporty, last pitted on lap 86. So actually, yeah, he was one of the drivers to take right sides in that one, and is paying off dividends as Ron Hart out in front, battle for second here, as Jaden Kurtachi now to the inside of Travis Wright. Kurtachi will have to make this pass pretty quick because he has fresh tires behind him of Jimmy Gauker. Gauker trying to get on around him here, and with this pass it could be pretty big for the LaPlante Triple Crown points, because Gauker had to make up 2 spots on Tallarico and Hoffman. Right now currently doing just that with both of them, as it looks like Gauker will get clear on the outside. Power move by the 2 machine. As if they were to finish where they're running, Jaden Kurtachi would walk away with the crown. Jimmy Gauker would be second in points, and then it would be Tanner Tallarico rounding out the podium. And of course, the cold hard cash paying spots, that being the top 3 in those points. Oh, actually, it would be Jimmy Gauker third in points, because Zach Nichols, where he's running, it could actually be a toss-up between the 2 of them as well. Yeah, currently as they run, Zach Nichols will have to pick off just 1 car, that being the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico in front of him, to hang on to second in the overall standings. But if they were to finish how they're running, Jimmy Gowker would tie Zach Nichols in that LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge. Jaden Kutachi now under fire from some other tires, now being the 7 machine of Matt Vade. That is for position. Then behind him, Greggy Long, currently our lucky dog candidate. But he can't afford a mistake because his buddy Landon Atkins sits right behind him there at both those cars. If we were to get a caution, it's going to be one of those two that will be the lucky dog here tonight. As Ron Hart out in front pacing the field, Jimmy Gowker though starting to run him on down within half a second, now with 18 to go at the stripe. Zach Nichols able to get around Tanner Tallarico for that 6th position, 1 car in the wall down the back straightaway. I think that was the 7 machine of Matt Vade able to keep things rocking and rolling. But like I was saying, Zach Nichols able to get around Tanner Tallarico, now getting around Travis Wright. So this will put Zach Nichols back into 2nd in the standings here for the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge, as Travis Wright, a huge hit to the outside wall. That right front on that 10 machine starting to go on away here, and you can see just with how much wheel that car definitely hurting, and his pace definitely going to be way off there with that right front toe knocked way on in on that right front. Out in front, Ron Hart starting to put on some defensive driving because Jimmy Gowker is there. Gowker looking for his 2nd win of the season. I believe Ron Hart as well looking for win number 2 this season. As actually, I take that back. I think Ron Hart has yet to win here in the super late model. So Hart looking for his 1st win of this season. Of course, picked up a win in the street stocks this season, but looking for his 1st one this season. Jimmy Gowker looking for 2. Of course, Gowker winning the big short track throwdown race presented by LaPlante Racing Products, so was able to walk away with a good cash day there. But of course, some more cash days to come. Over a $800 purse now for the ASRC Snowball Derby. That of course happening January 9th and 10th. Registration is open for that race, so if you're interested in that, be sure to check out American Sim Racing Club on Facebook and sign on up, as now inside of 10 laps to go, we keep an eye on this great battle for the race lead here. Jimmy Gowker gonna try the outside lane here. We'll get the nose to the outside corner panel of the 51. Does he have enough to keep the momentum rolling? Looks like not quite, at least this time by. Ron Hart's gonna have to put together his best 7 laps here. Jimmy Gowker looking for the crossover. Not quite there. Hart will drive it in there deep. We'll be able to slam the door shut here. Now only 6 laps left in this one. Currently only 8 cars on the lead lap with everything going on here. It looks like John Meester now currently the lucky dog candidate. Might lose that here to Greggy Long, but that time by a single open hand from the flagman. 5 to go. Now make it 4 to go at the stripe. So Long moves back into the lucky dog spot if we do get a caution here late in this one, but so far only 4 cautions on the night. So it's not looking like it could shape up to one, but a great battle here for the race lead at the end of this one. Jimmy Gowker trying his all, trying the high lane, trying to get a nose to the inside. Can't quite do it. Gowker gets a piece of the wall there down the back straightaway. Popsicle sticks up in the air this time by. It is 2 laps to go. Can Hart hold off for his 1st win? Can Jimmy Gowker visit back victory lane? We'll have to decide here right now. White flag is out one more time around. Hart gets a good corners 1 and 2. Jimmy Gowker, his final chance right here. We'll drive it in there softly. Does a respectable racing move here, and Ron Hart will pick up the win there. Man, a great race there for the win between Hart and Gowker. And how about this? Matt Vade a career best here tonight. He will finish third up on the podium. Zach Nichols will finish fourth, and Jaden Kratachi will end up with a crown. He will round out the top five and pick up the crown here tonight. But Ron Hart will burn it on down here on the front straightaway. We'll celebrate a big win. And I tell you what, it will be a good one to chat with our top three. So don't go anywhere, folks. We will chat with our top three here after a quick commercial break.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we head back to Lanier Speedway and chat with our top three here tonight. As our first driver we will be talking to would be the 7 machine of Matt Vade, but I think he's still jumping into Discord here, so we'll give him another moment to jump on in here. So we will then move on up to talk with our runner-up finisher, that being the 2 machine of Jimmy Gauger. Jimmy, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Man, oh man, how are we feeling after 125 laps? It felt like it flew by up in the broadcast booth. How'd it feel behind the wheel?
Wish I was one spot better, honestly. But yeah, that was definitely a quick one for sure tonight. Only a few cautions. I totally forgot. It was like maybe like right before I came down pit road, I saw we had a set of tires. I was like, oh, let's might as well take it then, and tried to figure out something. And then I saw Ron come out ahead of me because I had to come down pit road and fix a little bit of right front damage I had. But I tried to pass Ron on the top, but he just held a good line and just couldn't get around him.
Yeah, you two put on a heck of a battle for that race lead, and it seemed like the last 20 or so laps, because you caught him pretty quick there. But yeah, I tell you what, it wasn't a lack of effort for you trying to win this thing. To try that high side as many times as you did, I got to give you a lot of props.
I appreciate it, Bert. Yeah, I had to try something. You know, a lot of people in this league, like respect when you get on the top and pass them and not try on the bottom. But I just kept getting so much drive off after that last restart there. I just passed everyone on the bottom. Everyone kept sliding up and stuff like that. But yeah, I tried so hard to get around Ron. It was a good race with Ron. I feel bad for some of the people who came down and probably accidentally took 4 and got stuck behind the pace car as well.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough break here, but that's the name of the game, sadly, sometimes when it comes to that these short tracks. I assume you kind of knew that. That's why only two tires for the two machine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But if I just didn't take that damage, I don't. Maybe a different outcome, possibly, because Ron did beat me off pit road, and he asked me if we got in. He was like, "Do you take four?" I said, "No, I took two. I had to fix some damage."
Yeah, so that damage definitely seemed to help you because, like you said, man, that car looked on rails after taking those two tires. I mean, how'd the car feel different? It just seemed like you said, had a ton of drive off as well as turn in the middle.
Oh yeah, especially after getting that damage fixed. And the right before that last caution, I was getting a little tight center and I was getting a little loose off with the right front damage. I came in, fixed up that damage, and the thing was just hooked up like it was on train tracks. It would just go anywhere to stick. But just wish we were just one spot better tonight. And maybe a few more laps, honestly. We might have something for on there.
Yeah, I tell you what, a great night for you here tonight, a runner up spot, but also, I don't know if you took a look at the LaPlante Triple Crown points coming into tonight, you're 2 points off third. So with the second place and beating Tanner by 4 points or four positions as well, you, my man, walk away with some money in third in that.
Really, I did not check that. I did see I was eighth or like eighth or seventh, but I was expecting to be up there, get bring home some money. Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, so to add with some LaPlante money from, of course, the throwdown, which you're the defending champion of that, you also get some LaPlante money now from the Triple Crown stuff. So a good season for the two machine to be hunting some money.
Oh yeah, for sure. We just showed up at the right time, I guess.
Hey, that you did, and I tell you what, every time you have shown on up here in the second half of the season, this two car has been having some great speed here. Only two races left on the schedule. How you feeling about both uh, New Smyrna as well as Hickory?
I'm excited for both of those tracks. Honestly, I really like New Smyrna. You'll be able to pass on the outside there. Hickory, same thing. A little tight bull ring there. Just gotta be a little careful in the corners. Come off of four there, especially. Actually, both corners, especially. But yeah, I'm excited for New Smyrna next week, though.
Yeah, that one should be a good one. No more off weeks, so we are racing on out. And then, of course, Snowball Derby announced. I saw you were one of the first entries with that. We're excited to have the two machine committed to that as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I appreciate everyone involved, all the sponsors, everyone who puts it up. We will be streaming Friday night at 9 o'clock or 8:50 Eastern Standard Time for the online Open Winter Derby. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jimmy Gawker, as well to catch all the action there Friday night.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Jimmy, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, we're gonna go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
Well, first and foremost, I gotta thank you, Brett, for broadcasting. I gotta thank my mom, my sister, my beautiful girlfriend Ty, all my sponsors. We just picked up one last week with Dolby. Use code GGR at checkout to get 10% off. But Hoosier Racing Tire, Meyer, DAC Enterprise, Frickers Mint, Hoax Graphics, Nichols Designs, No Chance Motorsports, Jimmy Gawker Racing, Port City Race Cars. This thing's been a rocket ship the last few weeks as well. Zach Mega Foundation, just everyone who puts these cars together. Jaden, my teammate, also Zach, Landon in there as well.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Jimmy, it's always been a pleasure talking to you, my man, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you before this season wraps on up. So you, my man, have a great rest of your night and good luck in the official Snowball Derby this weekend.
Yep, thank you, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher. It is the two machine of Jimmy Gawker. Now we'll actually head back down and we have our third place finisher, that being the seven machine of Matt Vade. Hey Matt, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Had a good run tonight.
Yeah, that you did, man. We got you now. And yeah, first and foremost, how you feeling after 125 laps? That race, at least to me, felt like it flew on by. How'd it feel for you?
I agree. We were clean and green for a lot of it. We had a couple of hiccups there. Cautions tend to do that; they breed more cautions. But this place opens up pretty good. Everybody was good about giving 2 lanes, 2.5 lanes. So, uh, yeah, it worked out great. Tonight was awesome. I love this place.
Yeah, this place is actually one of my favorites. I think it's one of the more underrated tracks in iRacing, especially a high horsepower race car where you got to be really precise on the throttle. I mean, that was the name of the game, I assume, here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Hats off to Ron for the win, and he got through traffic there that last sequence. I think we both pitted at the same time, kind of started 1 or 2 cars away from each other there, and he just got through it quicker. But it was good. It was racy. The guys were fun to be around. Pin Zach down on the bottom for about 35, 40 laps, and had did a lot of learning up on the top side. So it was a good night. It was a good way to come back after Thanksgiving, and uh, it was great.
Yeah, man, it's always great seeing you out on track here. And yeah, great finish as well. I mean, coming into tonight, you started pretty deep in the field, and by the end of it, you're the biggest mover. So, what'd you kind of figure out with passing?
Well, tires at the end helped a lot.
Yep.
Couple of those guys stayed out, and they were kind of sitting ducks and kind of boxed everybody up. But that was big at the end. But just here, you got to really be patient early and not get caught trying to run your stuff off because your lap times fall off pretty good here. This car, man, I've been struggling with it lately. It feels like it's on ice. It's just floating around, and I think tonight I kind of got it settled in a little bit where I was comfortable at a riding pace and didn't have to. I turned my best lap. I think I don't know, lap 90 something.
Nice. So definitely had the long run pace, and that definitely paid off here tonight. Able to keep the pace on for a podium there, as well as you mentioned it a little bit before as well. Man, you and Zach Coyer, you guys were side by side. It seemed like 20 plus laps at one point here tonight.
Yeah, with teammates, it's always fun to do that. There's a little more trust involved, and you can really get closer door to door. I like testing Zach. He's a young driver that is good in the street stocks and the late models, and he's always looking to get better in the super. So any chance I get to lay on him and give him some lessons is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it is. And yeah, here tonight you were teaching some lessons here, able to walk away with a podium. So, Matt, something I like to ask a driver, when when I get a chance to is kind of what's your sim setup like? It seems like everyone kind of runs their own stuff, whether super expensive, budget. What do you got these days for wheel pedals? What are you looking at? All that good stuff.
Well, it's been a labor of love over the years to kind of just piecing things together as we go. I built my own rig out of 2-inch PVC, and it holds a little desktop with 3 monitors on it. I've upgraded to a Fanatec direct drive over the years with the V2 pedals. I'm looking to get some V3s, um, and yeah, the computer's just been a steady upgrade. So it's no VR or anything in the future. I kind of like what I got.
Yeah, for sure, man. And like you said, with those triple monitors, those are a game changer, especially in close quarters racing and at tight tracks like tonight.
Oh, for sure. Just to have that peripheral and be able to see both left and right side is a huge advantage.
Yeah, that it is. And Matt, we got two more races on the schedule. We got New Smyrna as well as Hickory. Does a 7 car make plan to make the tow down to those two tracks here in the future?
Well, I really like New Smyrna. That's a lot like my home track here, Madison International Speedway. So I'll probably make that one, and then you'll probably see me at the Derby too.
Yeah, awesome stuff. That was going to be my next question. Snowball Derby a month away. Is that 7 car going to show on up? And if so, what are the expectations?
That's another one of those places I really like because it chews tires up and it can get guys in trouble from going too fast too early. So I tend to have a lot of success there if it opens up and goes green. And with this group, it more than likely will. So I felt pretty good, a little confidence booster beating Nichols tonight. Nobody's been able to do that really much this year. So we'll see if we can get close to him at New Smyrna and stay close to him at Pensacola.
Yeah, that would be the case. And yeah, that's a feat that not too many people have accomplished. And Matt, you're one of them to do it here tonight. So, Matt, once again, congrats on the P number 3 here tonight before we let you go. and celebrate this podium finish. We're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
Man, thank you guys, Turn 3, for everything you guys do. You guys are awesome. Everybody in this league is competitive. It's good to just racer instead of an admin sometimes. And Deviate Bowling Balls, Integrity Farms, Track TV, and all my boys at Valhalla Vodka. So thank you guys.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Matt, it was a great time talking to you tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of New Smyrna. But before that, man, have a great rest of your weekend. Once again, congrats on the P3 finish here tonight.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was our third place finisher, Matt Vade, and I think career best finish. Now we'll head down to Victory Lane and talk to the man of the hour. It is the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Ron, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, I got you, Brett.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 125 laps here at Lanier?
Rusty, man. I haven't raced much in the last month, and didn't feel like we had any good race pace today. Kind of surprised myself in qualifying, and was running 8th before that caution. Just kind of couldn't go anywhere. And to be sitting here in Victory Lane, still kind of a big surprise to me. You know, sometimes it gets better lucky than good, I guess.
Yeah, and I tell you what, that pit stop strategy call to take 2 tires on lap 86 seemed like that decided this race here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how much it would help, but I was surprised so many guys tried to take 4 at that little track or whatever slowed them down. You know, I came in the pits 4 or 5 cars back and passed 4 or 5 cars in the pits. So I guess they all took 4, and 2 tires was good. I don't think it was the fastest way to go, but it was good enough, I guess, to get up to the front, and tried to save some tire there when I got the big lead. So I figured we'd get a caution, and I wanted to save some. Kind of let Jimmy catch me, and I thought I could get back away from him and couldn't, but it worked out.
Yeah, that it did. I mean, you had a mirror full of Jimmy Gowker those last 20 laps, and you, my man, did great with the pressure there. Not one big mistake from the 51 machine, and that's what ultimately got you the win here tonight. How tough was it to hit your marks at this very rhythm track?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the worst position to be in. You're just waiting to get the knock out of the way. I mean, it's props for Jimmy for doing it clean. I mean, I probably would have moved myself if I was in second place there, just for how much blocking and, just changed my line to really park it on the bottom and made sure I could drive off straight and all that. So appreciate him running me clean. I don't think I would have ran myself clean if I was in second there. So it's a crazy feeling, just having somebody that close in your bumper for that many laps. You're just waiting to get moved. But at the end, he didn't do it, and I'll repay that next time we race.
Yep, that you will. And I tell you what, you earned a lot of respect with a lot of drivers here. And here tonight makes career win number 26 for you, Ron. So that respect as well goes a long way because that puts you well and clear in third most ever wins with this league. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to win one in late models. I've won a lot of street stock races lately, but haven't won any of the super races yet, and it's been a minute for any late models. So it feels good to get one. Not my favorite track at all, so it's still kind of shocked to get it here, but we'll take it, and we'll see if we can go again tomorrow. I think I won the street stock race last year at Rockingham, so see if we can go 2 in a row.
Yeah, that would be an awesome thing to sweep the week as well as Ron. New kind of paint scheme here tonight. Some blue on the car. What's the thought behind that? As I think this might be your lucky charm, man, going 1-for-1 with this new paint scheme.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I'm trying out something a little different. I got some new colors for the real car coming this year and wanted to test it out. Really excited for our Snowball Derby paint scheme we got fired up. Took a lot of time and effort into that one. Get it looking really good. Really excited for the best appearing car contest. I heard there's a big payout for that. And just really got a banger coming out for that. But this paint scheme looks pretty good too. And so far it's 1-for-1, so can't beat that.
Yeah, that you can't 1-for-1 able to go down to victory lane. And yeah, you mentioned it there. Snowball Derby about a month out. This 51 machine going to be one of the favorites. How do you feel about that place with a 300 lapper as well as the Snowflake the night before?
300 laps is a lot of laps, Brett. I'm getting pretty old. I might have to get my buddy Ace in here to run the first 200 for me, and I'll sub in the last 100 or something. I don't know if the old man and me can run 300 laps anymore, but looking forward to it. We'll have a good looking race car out there, at least for sure. And it's going to be a cool event put on by ASRC, and excited to see who can come away with the money.
Yeah, that it is over $800 already confirmed for the person. It's going to be a great race there with that one. Is here for this season though, only 2 more races left. Next week you get to start at the back of New Smyrna, then we head to Hickory. How do you feel about those 2 places to try and have the 51 machine go back to victory lane at least one more time this season?
I really like New Smyrna. That's one of my better places. It's going to be tough coming from the back, but I was 12th or something at some point today, so it can be done. Just going to have some good pit strategy and some luck to get up there like I did tonight. Hickory will be a wild card like it always is, a little boring. So it'll be cool. Season's flown by. I can't believe it's already about over, but see if we can't get another win in either this or the street stocks before it's done.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's definitely going to be awesome to see. So, Ron, before we let you go and celebrate the big win here tonight at Lanier, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
I'll just shout out to my paint scheme for the Snowball Derby. Really want to win that best appearing car contest, so make sure that you get in there and vote for 51 Big Snowman paint scheme. So that's what I want to shout out tonight on this time. Thanks you guys for putting on the league, and thanks for doing the broadcast.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. Well, Ron, once again, congrats on the big win here tonight. Career win number 26. That is awesome to see. So, you, my man, have a great rest of your night, great rest of the weekend. We'll even catch you tomorrow for the streeters, see how you do at Rockingham.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, Ron Hart, in the 51 machine, getting the job done here. And now we got one more person to talk to, and that is our Triple Crown winner. That would be the 11 machine of Jaden Kratachi. So we will get him dialed on up here in just 1 second. And I think we have him right here. So we will head down now and talk to the driver of the number 11 machine with the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge champion. Jaden, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, man. First and foremost, how we feeling after what seemed to me a quick 125 laps here?
Yeah, quick is definitely a word for it. Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. Got the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge, which is absolutely awesome. First time getting that, so get to add that to the resume. But yeah, that was a fun race. Definitely wish I would have thought about taking tires there, but sometimes we make those mistakes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you were the best finisher to not take tires here tonight, coming home in 5th. And yeah, I'm sure if you had a complete do-over, you would come down for those right side tires there on that last yellow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it didn't even cross my mind. I didn't think tires were gonna be that big of a difference, but I mean, we had 2 long green flag runs, and just me being me, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, and yeah, so hurt myself there from my finish. Probably could have won the race if I would have done that, but I mean, you make mistakes here and there, but overall, we still came out with the result that we wanted. So
Yeah, like you said, you had some great pace before that tire strategy game kind of came into effect. Able to run down Travis Wright, put a lot of pressure on him, was able to get around him after those tires got on by. So, yeah, like you said, I think without those tire sets, man, you could have been walking away with the victory here tonight. But more importantly, able to do enough for tonight to walk away with that LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge. How much was that in the back of your mind all race long?
that was pretty much my main focus of the whole night. Going in, staying calm, cool, and collective. Just keep the nose on the car, stay away from the mayhem, and just kind of manage myself and do what I had to do in order to keep that in order to keep the Triple Crown Challenge in sight. So we did that. We executed there. Just like I said, we didn't execute on the on the race strategy clearly, but overall we came out with our end result that we wanted. So
Yeah, and I think for you and your teammates at No Chance Motorsports, I tell you what, I think you guys may have swept the LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge. We'll have to see how it averages out between Jimmy and Ron because I think they tied in third. But you, Zach, and then either Jimmy or Ron. I mean, that's some pretty great competition and to have a lot of your drivers up there as well. That's got to feel pretty good as well.
Yeah, definitely pretty cool to have for sure. I mean, our Port City race cars have been bad fast lately, along with our Ryan competition engines. Building the best of the best of the cars that we have. Definitely bringing our A game every week. So it all makes a difference back at the shop, and yeah, and obviously the results are paying off.
Yeah, that they are able to walk away with some cold hard cash from LaPlante Racing products from this season, as well as a lot of cash up for grabs in about a month or so. The ASRC Snowball Derby confirmed and open. I assume you plan to take a car down there, maybe a few. How you feeling about that thing?
Oh, absolutely. We're feeling pretty good. We've done a lot of five flags lately, actually. So, got the racing line down, and I feel pretty confident going into that race. We did really good a couple weeks ago there. Had a second place and a first place, so can't go wrong with that. And yeah, we'll just focus on getting our snowball cars ready, and we'll go run that race. See what
Yeah,
we can do.
Yeah, for sure, man. You definitely have a really good resume going into that with, like you said, that second and first, as well as with you being a big graphics guy, a great race car painter. There's some money up for grabs even before we turn a lap with the paint scheme kind of contest. I'm sure you're cooking up something special for that as well.
Well, what you guys see tonight is what we're running. So, we accidentally brought the wrong car to the track, but clearly it worked pretty good. So we might keep doing this again and see what happens.
Yeah, I would say so. Running on out for the rest of the season because it has looked bad fast, and here tonight, able to get the job done. And yeah, Jaden, only two races left in this season. Then the snowball. How you feeling for the last two now with New Smyrna as well as Hickory?
We'll just go in with our same mindset that we've had, stay focused and keep the nose clean and do what we can. I don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting. Those tracks are pretty tough. I'm sure we'll be all right. Guys back at the shop make good race cars, and as long as we qualify good, put ourselves in the right position, I'd say we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It always seems like that 11 machine up in contention each and every week. So, Jaden, once again, congrats on the Triple Crown Championship, your first ever crown you have earned here. So, a well deserving champion of that. And to celebrate that, we're going to go let you say who made it possible, whether teammates, sponsors, or anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to here tonight.
Well, I want to thank you guys and Tanner for putting on the league and broadcasting. Hoax Graphics, R&M Towing, Preferred Warranties, Christian Center Church, Ryan Competition Engines, Port City Race Cars, Stellar Performance, LaPlante for putting on the Triple Crown Challenge. I didn't get to thank them for I think it was the Langley race, so shout out to them. My bad on that. But other than that, just everybody back at the shop, back at home, everyone who supports us and helps us to do what we love to do every week.
Yeah, for sure, man. And awesome stuff once again, Jaden, for walking away with that. Big congrats to you with that. So, you, my man, have a great rest of your week. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again, though, before the end of this season.
Yes, sir, we definitely will.
Alrighty, awesome stuff. That was Jaden Kratacci walking away with his first ever LaPlante Triple Crown Challenge. So that will do it here tonight from the post-race show. So first and foremost, everyone, we got to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning on in here live or on the replay. Appreciate you taking your time to spend with us. We, of course, got to give a shout out to all the drivers making it possible here tonight. We appreciate those guys putting on the show for all of us to enjoy, as well as our partners over here at American Sim Racing Club. Of course, Postma Flooring coming on board with the title sponsor. You want to check them out, you can check them out with the link in the description. That's how you can get in contact with them, as well as Boardwalk Subs. And, of course, LaPlante Racing Products coming on board with that very cool 3-race challenge. So here we go. Race results from Lanier will look like the following. Ron Hart will pick up career win number 26. Jimmy Gowker will finish in P number 2. And Matt Vade with a career best finish. He will round out the podium in third. Zach Nichols will go from the back to P number 4 here tonight. Jaden Kratachi will round out the top 5. Tanner Tallarico will finish 6th, 7th going to Zach Corey. 8th is Travis Wright. 9th is Greggy Long, Landon Atkins rounding out the top 10. John DeMeester will finish 11th, 12th going to Stephen Hoffman. 13th is Hayden Swink. Dave Payton will finish 14th. Nick Flory will finish 15th. 16th going to Chuck Darling. Scott Austin will finish 17th. And 18th is Nate Henry. Chloe Mazzagatti will finish 19th, and John Perriel not making the call here tonight. Hopefully everything is good and all right with John there. But yeah, that will do it here tonight. Turn 3 Racing Network is partnered with Premier Setup Shops. If you want to find out more about them, you could click that link in the description. That will take you over to their website and let them know that we sent you. So even if you don't want to buy anything, a click would go a long way and show our support as they support us to allow us what we do. So that would do it here tonight. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday night for race number 12 of the Postma Flooring Super Late Model Tour as they invade New Smyrna Speedway, or tune in tomorrow night for the American Sim Racing Street Stock Series at Rockingham. Like I said, keep an eye out in about a month or so. The big ASRC Snowball Derby set to go live with that. So that'll do it here tonight. Everyone take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week. And I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.